Let me go through the first one. That is, what we need is a position vector. Okay, so what is a position vector that we have discussed in the last lecture? The vector which gives a position at any point from some fixed point is called a position vector. The vector which gives the position at any point, gives the position at any point from some fixed point is called, what it is called? A position vector. From a fixed point is called a position vector. In the last lecture, we have discussed how we are going to denote r bar is equals to xi plus yj plus zk. Okay, what are ijk? These are the unit vectors in the direction of x, y, and z axis. Okay. Hello.
Ma'am, I can't see what is written on the board.
Okay. So actually, whatever I am saying, that whether you can listen it.
Yes, ma'am, I can listen it, but I can't see what's written on the board.
So no doubt these things I am going to give you the notes even in the after completion of the things which on the board we will have the sharing of the screen. That means whatever I have written on the board, that I will show you with the help of a screen handwritten notes. Okay. So just concentrate.
Okay.
I am saying because I have ordered it pen tablet, but it is late due to some problems. So it may be coming in within 7 to 8 days. Okay, the vector which gives the position at any point from some fixed point. That means the vector which gives the position of a point. That means suppose if you want to plot a point, right? Suppose आपने कोई 2D plane पे. Let us discuss on 2D. That is XY plane. This is x-axis and this is y-axis. Okay. So if someone tells you that you have to plot a point 1, 2. Okay. Say P is equals to 1, 2. If you are provided that P is equals to 1, 2 is a point given to you to plot it. So how you are going to plot it? Yes, how you are going to plot a point 1, 2? Can anyone say how you are going to plot a point 1, 2? That is x with x coordinate is given 1 and y coordinate is 2. If x coordinate is 1, y coordinate is 2. So from origin to in the direction of x axis we have to take a 1. Okay. From origin to in the direction of y axis. That means in the direction of y axis we have to plot a 2. That is this is 1 and 2. Combining these two, we'll get somewhere the points here. That is 1, comma 2. Okay. So if I want to find out the distance from the origin directly, so you have to go through this way and then this way. Correct? Either first you have to travel a distance from origin to x-axis at a unit distance, then you have to travel in the direction of y-axis. But if you want to travel directly, so it will be from origin to point 1, 2. So this is what a position vector of a that point 1, 2. But we are discussing this on the 2D plane. But if I want to extend the idea in the 3D space, how you are going to plot a point say 1, 2, 5? if we are having a point 1 to 5, how you are going to plot this point 1 to 5? Okay, so if I want to plot a point 1 to 5, so what I have to do is, say we have 3D system. Okay, so if I want to plot a point,
Not visible, ma'am.
first suppose I am going to plot a point 1, 2 and 5. So what is x coordinate? It is 1. What is y coordinate? It is 2.
What are
What is z coordinate?
not visible to us, ma'am?
Hi, Miss Atmika. Hello.
आवाज येईना तुमचा.
हा मॅम तुमच्या ब्लॅकबोर्डचं काहीच आम्हाला दिसत नाही.
Wait. Is it visible now?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So what I have written here, you have to tell me.
Ma'am, actually the lines are visible, but the
Okay.
sentence is not visible to us.
Okay, you have to cope up within 4 to 5 days because I have ordered it. Pen tablet, it will come within 4 to 5 days. But no doubt after this completion of things here, I will share the handwritten notes. So just consider what I am saying. Okay. So if suppose a point is given 1 to 5, that is x coordinate is 1, y coordinate is 2 and z coordinate is 5. So how you are going to plot x coordinate? This is 1. And what is the next one? Here it is 1, 2. Correct? What is the next one? Z coordinate. Z coordinate is here 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. Correct? So we have this one. Now how you are going to join those points? So if it is simply 2D, so simply here it is a point 1, 2. And if it is only, so this is what x, y and z. So 2, 5, it will be somewhere here. And what is the next thing? In the xz plane, we have the coordinate is 1, 5. So how you are going to join all those points? First, we have a point 1, 2, then 2, 5 and 1, 5. Okay. So to join all those points, first you have to join these things. Okay. So what you are getting is, this is in the YZ plane, this is in the XY plane and this is in the XZ plane. So if I want to write down the resultant vector, that is this vector. So how you are going to write down? For this, I will give you one shortcut. That means how to find out or how to plot a point in the 3D space. I think everyone has plotted a point on the 2D plane, that is XY plane. But how to plot a point on a 3D space? Okay. So to plot a point on a 3D space, this is a rough sketch. And what is a shortcut for this? I hope everyone knowing about how to draw a cuboid.
Yes, ma'am.
So you can construct this one. So what you have to do? These are our x, y, z axis. This is our z axis, and this is x, and this is y. Okay. So for that, this is our point 1, 2. This is our 2, 5, and here somewhere we are getting a point 1, 5. So you have to join these points. Okay. So in some way, actually I am also not so much perfect to draw this as images. So what you have to do is simply you have to first draw a cuboid and then what is the resultant vector? So here outside we are getting a resultant vector that is 1, 2, 5. because whatever the things we are discussing is on a 3D space. हम जो भी डिस्कस कर रहे हैं वो 3D स्पेस पे, बट हमारा हम जो भी डिस्कशन जिस पे कर रहे हैं वो क्या है, एक प्लेन है, राइट? What is a plane? No, it is an XY plane, right? So what you have to do is, suppose, let me take this. Okay, let us assume that this is what our this is x-axis, this is y, and somewhere here is a z-axis. All three are mutually perpendicular to each other, correct? हम जो भी ड्रॉ करते हैं 3D स्पेस, ये ड्रॉ किया है ना आपने बहुत बार. एक्चुअली दिस इज नॉट करेक्ट बिकॉज इनमें तीनों में 90 डिग्री एंगल है ही नहीं, because we are not able to plot on a 3D space. That's why we are plotting on the plane itself. Okay, actually this is wrong, but to show that whatever we are going to discuss on the 3D space, that's why we are using this. Because यहाँ पे अगर आप देख रहे हो what is an angle between y and z, this is not a 90 degree. What is an angle between x and z, this is also not a 90 degree. What is a 3D space, or what is a xyz system in which all the three coordinates should be mutually perpendicular to each other, correct? So you can see here having these three pens. First one is a red pen, here is a pencil, and this is a blue pen. So these three are mutually perpendicular to each other. Then where should I plot a point if it is in a 3D space? If I am plotting a point here in this plane, so this will be a point in the plane, and if I plot a point here, this will be a point in a xz or yz. This point in a xz plane, and this is a point in a xy plane. So if I want to plot a point in a 3D space, what I have to do is I have to plot a point somewhere in the space, correct? So suppose we are having these are xyz axis, so somewhere here outside here, if I am plotting that point 1, 2, 5, so resultant of this will give you a point in the 3D space, correct? So to plot a point on a 3D space, it is very easy. What you have to do is, first you have to plot a point on a 2D, okay? That means first you have to plot a point xy, then yz and zx, correct? If we are plotted with 1, 2, 5. So first plot a point 1, 2, then 2, 5, then 1, 5. Okay, xy, yz and xz, and join them like this. Okay, and how you are going to take a resultant of that, that is an important thing. Okay, so in general you can have like this also. What you have to do is, this is a point outside all the plane. This is a point in the xy, this is on the yz, and this is on the xz plane. And resultant of this will be taken from origin to this point, and this is a point in the 3D space, that is 1, 2 and 5. Or in general you can say it is x, y, z. Okay, have you understood this? Any doubt about this? Hello? Hello?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, is it clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Hello?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
So what
Yes,
you have to
ma'am.
do, simply we have to take a point in the space. If I want to plot a point in the space, it should be outside those plane. Okay, so you can construct. आपको ये cube तो construct करने आता होगा. So what you have to do? First you have to plot x, y, z, and the resultant of this, which is coming outside, and that will be a point in a 3D space. Okay, so how to plot a point in a 3D space, that we have studied now. So if I want to join these points, this will be just like this. So here it will be resultant somewhere. here we get this one. What is remaining with us? We have to join this. It's a rough sketch for that. I will show you in detail afterwards. Okay, so let us go to the position vector. That means if I want to plot a point, so this will be r bar is a position vector and it is written as xi plus yj plus z. Okay, here ijk are the unit vector in the direction of x, y and z axis. Next thing we are going to study is velocity. Okay, what is the velocity? The time rate of change of a position vector of a particle is called a velocity. Okay, time rate of change of a position vector is called a velocity. That means you have to just differentiate whatever the position vector we have of a particle. That means whatever we are going to discuss, that is related to some particle. Suppose you are traveling from stand to university. That means you will be considered as a particle. Suppose you are traveling on your own bike. Okay, अगर आप बाइक पे ट्रैवल कर रहे हो तो आपका स्पीड मिनिमम क्या होगा 40-50 in the city, but if you go on a highway it will be somewhat different. Okay, maybe 60-70. So at that time you will be considered as a particle. And what is the speed of yourself? It is nothing but the speed of a bike. Okay, so if you are a position vector, okay, and what is the point we have taken from stand? Okay, here is what is a fixed point? That means from where we are going to measure a distance, or sometime you can take a measure a distance from your home. अगर आप distance calculate, so what you have to do? First you have to we have to see the speedometer. Okay, when you are going from a home, आप घर से जब निकल रहे हो तब आपका स्पीडोमीटर चेक करो, वहां पे जो रीडिंग है वो नोट डाउन करो, एंड देन आफ्टर traveling to university itself with some speed, suppose आपने speed constant रखा है 40. Okay, so how you are going to find out the distance from your home to university? Okay, if I want to find out a distance from home to university, what is the formula for velocity? It is distance upon time. Okay, so if I want to find out a distance, what I have to do is distance is equals to velocity into time, or a speed into time. Suppose you have traveled from your home to university at a speed of 40 km/40, so you have to write down 40 into time, whatever the time you have taken. आपको टाइम भी नोट डाउन करना पड़ेगा जब आप घर से निकल रहे. Suppose you need a half an hour or 40 minutes, then multiply this, you will get the distance. Okay. So, what is this? We have a fixed point is our home, from where we are calculating the distance. Suppose, if I ask you one question, कि आप origin कहीं पे भी draw कर सकते हो ना?
Yes, ma'am.
Suppose अगर ऐसा होता कि origin एक fixed जगह पे, like someone will told that origin is in Delhi. Okay, अगर वो फिक्स किया होता मैथमेटिशियन ने, तो हमको कितना डिफिकल्ट होता ना, क्योंकि जो भी चीज आपको मेजर करना है वो दिल्ली से ही मेजर करना पड़ेगा. अदरवाइज सपोज किसी ने बोला कि ओरिजिन इज फिक्स्ड इन द कोलकाता, राइट? So if I want to measure anything, I have to count it from Kolkata. So it is very easy for us now because we can plot origin and 3D space anywhere. Suppose I am plotting 3D space here. Again, I can plot it here also. Correct na? Getting me? Hello?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, what do you think? आपको अगर कोई चीज कैलकुलेट करना है, कोई डिस्टेंस कैलकुलेट करना है, तो आप क्या करते हो? एक फिक्स पॉइंट अज्यूम करते हो ना? From this point, I am going to calculate the distance. Okay. So for that, what we have, from a fixed point, we are going to take a point or a particle. The particle is moving, and what is the position vector of that particle is r bar. And the rate of change of this position vector with respect to time is nothing but the velocity. Okay, or we may call it as speed of a particle. Okay, so let us go for the next point, that is acceleration. Okay, for acceleration, what we did is the time rate of change of a velocity of a particle called acceleration. That is acceleration A is equals to time rate of change of a velocity. That is rate of change of velocity with respect to time will give you the acceleration of the particle. Okay. When there is a case of acceleration, if there is change in the speed, अगर स्पीड में कोई चेंज ही नहीं है तो एक्सेलरेशन का नीड ही नहीं है, बिकॉज इफ I want to find out an acceleration, what is a formula for acceleration? It is dv by dt. That means dv means what? There should be some change in the velocity. अगर आप constant speed से travel कर रहे हो तो what will be the velocity? What will be the acceleration? It will be
0.
And if you are traveling with some different speed, suppose आप घर से निकले हो, सिटी में आपका कहीं पे घर है, suppose it is in somewhere home ground. Suppose you are traveling from home ground. So in the speed in the city, the speed of a vehicle near about it is 30 or maximum 40. इससे ज़्यादा तो नहीं हो सकता. Exceptional cases. But if you go after स्टैंड के बाद जब आप ट्रैवल करते हो तो हाईवे पे नो डाउट यू आर नॉट गोइंग टू गो इन द स्पीड ऑफ 40, so you may be at 60 or 70. So there is a change in the speed at every point. You are having some different speed, obviously, because you cannot travel at the same speed from your home to university itself. Okay, so if there is a change in the speed or velocity, then only there will be a acceleration. Okay, so what is a formula for acceleration? Okay, so next thing we are going to study is a momentum. Okay, so actually what is a momentum? Simply it is given by mass into velocity. So m is a mass of a particle, that means whatever may be the weight of yourself, because you are considered as a particle with your bike in this example. It may be something different. It may be four-wheeler or anything else which is traveling. That will be a particle. Or it may be nothing that a person walking. कोई person अगर walking कर रहा है तो उसका भी speed calculate कर सकते. Mass of that person into the velocity. That will give you the momentum. Okay. The next thing we have studied is a angular momentum. This is what a linear momentum and this is angular momentum. This is linear momentum. Why? Because we are not going to take a consideration of the vector. Okay, vector part. So what is a linear momentum? P is equals to m into v. Okay. So what is an angular momentum? L is equals to r bar cross p bar. Okay. I hope you are knowing what is a cross and dot product. Yes, no?
Yes, ma'am.
No. Okay. Let me ask you, what is a cross product? But you have written L bar is equal to R cross P. So if I want to find out what is a cross product, if I am having two vectors A and B, right? If you are having two vectors A and B, so what is a cross product of A and B and how it is written? Or rather, what is a dot product of any two vector A and B? A dot B is equals to. Let me write down. A dot B is equal to and dot product A bar dot B bar.
AB sin theta.
For which one? Cross product?
A bar dot product.
For dot product it is sin theta.
No, cos theta.
For dot product it is mod A mod B cos of theta. And for cross product it is mod A mod B sin theta. Correct? बरोबर आहे का?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
So if I want to say that, okay, let me ask you, What is a geometric interpretation of a dot and cross product? Or is there is no geometric interpretation?
Cross product is in the sense of direction and cross product is the direction and dot product we don't consider direction.
No, no, I'm not asking about the direction. What I'm saying is, what is geometric interpretation of these two? That is related to vector, no? हम यहाँ पे बार लिख रहे, that means we are considering the direction. Have you heard something that there should be a geometric interpretation behind the dot and the cross product?
Eleventh standard we have studied 11th standard.
That is what I am saying. Na? In the somewhere in 9th or 10th or 11th standard, you have studied what is a cross product. I hope you are knowing this one. A cross B. Mod of A cross B is nothing but the area of parallelogram. I hope you are knowing this. Mod of A cross B is nothing but the area of a parallelogram. So, if you are having any two vector and if you are taking the cross product of this, and modulus of this will give you the area of a parallelogram. And in the book of real analysis book, Escumbrason sir, that you can download from the website itself. Google, you can search on a Google first course in real analysis by Escumbrason sir. So, in that book, the sir has given the very detailed idea that if you are having any two vector, how you have to take this is a vector A, suppose this is a vector A, and this is another vector B. So, the area of a parallelogram will be calculated if you have to find out a mod of A cross B. Even, I think many of you don't know that what is a geometric interpretation of a determinant? Even in the determinant, 2 cross 2 determinant. अगर आपके पास 2 cross 2 determinant है, right? 2 cross 2 determinant means suppose I am saying that it is say 1 2 and here it is 3 4. Okay, determinant पता है सबको?
Yes, ma'am.
हाँ. So what you have to do? I am taking very simple one, that is 2 cross 2 determinant. So आई थिंक आपको पता होगा कि डिटर्मिनेंट का आपने जब डेफिनेशन स्टडी किया तो वहां पे क्या लिखा था? इट इज सिंपली अ रियल नंबर. बट व्हाट इज द ज्योमेट्री मीनिंग बिहाइंड द determinant? That means no doubt it is whatever after doing a calculation we will get a one real number. But actually if you go through the geometric interpretation of a 2 cross 2 determinant, it will give you the area of a parallelogram. Considering these two, that is 1 2. The first row is a first vector, second row is a second vector. Okay, you have to plot it and you will get the determinant. I hope you know this. Let me write down, then you can understand. ऐसा ऐकलात का कुठे? First row is ijk, second is a1 a2 a3, third is b1 b2 b3. Have you heard this somewhere? First row is unit vector I, j and k. Second is coordinate of second vector, that is a bar is equals to a1 a2 a3. That is b bar is equals to b1 b2 and b3. Correct? So, what is the resultant of this? ये क्या है? First row is ijk, second is the coordinate of first vector, that is a1 into a3, and the third is the coordinate of second vector, that is b1 b2 and b3. What do you get from this?
A cross B.
But उसका geometric meaning क्या है?
A cross B.
No, That no doubt it is A cross B, but what is the geometric meaning of behind this?
Area of parallelogram.
So that is what a formula for area of a parallelogram. But if suppose I am having a determinant of order 3 cross 3, at that time you are not getting area, it will be volume of the parallelepiped. Have you heard of parallelepiped? Parallelogram को अगर हम 3D space में लेके जाएं, parallelogram is in 2D. Okay, if you are having in 3D space, it will be volume of the parallelepiped. It is not a area, because if we are discussing on 3D space, so it will be volume of the parallelepiped. Okay. So what we are discussing is actually we have come to dot and cross product, no? So what is a dot product? How you are going to write down the dot product? A dot B is nothing but mod A mod B cos of theta. Right? How you are going to write down this? Actually, suppose this is one vector A and B. Okay. So we are taking dot product of this is mod A mod B cos theta. Right? So for that, this is what an angle between these two vectors, that is theta. So first you have to take projection. And no, I think you are knowing projection. Sauli, have you heard?
Yes.
Projection of a vector B on A. Somewhere you have written in the 12th standard. Projection of B on A or projection of A and on B. Okay. If you are remembering, let us think. अगर आप consider कर रहे हो, suppose you are traveling. अगर आप walking कर रहे हो, right? Sun, सूरज आपके exactly सर पे, like 12 o'clock, दिन के 12 बजे सूरज सर के ऊपर है. तो आपका सावली क्या मिलेगा? आपका इमेज
नहीं मिलेगा.
हाँ, so that will be a dot ना, कुछ भी नहीं मिलेगा. Correct. Suppose the sun is behind you. Okay. अगर सूरज आपके पीछे है तो क्या मिलेगा आपको? You will get it, but it is in front of yourself. Correct.
Yes.
Okay. And if you have observed it, sometimes it is larger and sometimes it is smaller than your height. आपका जो height है उसका exact नहीं मिलेगा आपको image. Sometimes it is larger, sometimes it is smaller, sometimes it is exact. Correct? Have you observed this?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
And if you haven't observed on the sun itself or walking, अगर घर पे कभी light गया तो तब भी observe कर सकते हो. I think nowadays we are having generator, but सब अगर आपके पास कोई कंदील वगैरह होता था ना पहले, तो वहां पे क्या होता था, हमारा इमेज हमको दीवार पे दिखता था ना, it is somewhat enlarged, right?
Yes, ma'am.
So that is what a projection or Savi. So we have to take a projection of a vector. Suppose we'll take it is A bar and this is what a B bar. So we have to take a projection of B on A. That is projection of a vector B on A in the direction of A. So with the help of that we are getting a projection, and with the help of projection we have defined a dot product. Okay. So let me draw a perpendicular. So, what is the projection of B on A? Can anyone tell me? Okay, let me write down. Then you will have an idea. Projection of B bar on A bar. We have written something. कुछ तो लिखा था, but हमें याद नहीं आ रहा है, right? Have you heard this term?
Yes, ma'am.
I think everyone has heard this projection of B on A, projection of A on B. So that is a homework for you. You have to search what is a projection of a one vector on another one. I will say you that directly what is a reason behind writing a dot product. Actually dot product is a generalization of a projection. Because जब हमने projection define किया उसके बाद ही dot product define किया. So what is a dot product? A dot B, this projection of B first we are taking, and it is in the direction direction of A. So that one we are taking it is mod A mod B cos of theta. For today's you have an homework that it is homework means it is not compulsory that you have to write it and all. In the next lecture, if I am asking you, if I remember, then you have to answer that what is the projection of B on A. So up to now, what is the dot product? It is written with the help of a projection and it is mod A mod B cos theta. Okay. And what is the cross product? It is nothing but that is suppose we are having any two vector. So this is A bar and B bar. So resultant of a vector that is given in this direction A bar cross B bar. That is with the help of right hand screw rule. This is A and this is B. And the resultant of a vector, it is going in the upward direction which is perpendicular to both the vector, will give you A cross B. Okay. So this is what a vector A cross B. And if we are having the another vector that is B cross A, that will be in the opposite direction here. So this will be a vector B cross A. Okay. So here we have a vector B cross A. But it is exactly equal to minus of A cross B. Right. So dot product, whatever the dot product we have, it will obey the abelian property, but the cross product will not obey the abelian property or commutative property. A cross B is not exactly equal to B cross A. Okay, because there is a sign convention. You can see here, we have this vector A and B, the resultant of a vector that is a cross product is given in this direction A cross B. And what is a B cross A? It is in the opposite direction. That is, they are exactly equal but opposite of each other. That is change of sign. Okay. So next we are going to have the next definition, that is torque. Okay, to define a torque, first we have studied what is L bar. What is L bar? That is angular momentum is R bar cross P bar. So torque is nothing but rate of change of a angular momentum. Okay. L by dt is nothing but torque, that is torque notation. Torque is used for torque. So how you are going to differentiate this R bar cross P bar? Because you know the rule of a multiplication for derivative. How to perform a multiplication? Derivative of these two terms. U into V rule for derivative. Derivative साठी U into V rule काय आहे?
U into dv by dt plus U into du by dt.
So what is U here? R bar as it is into dp by dt plus P as it is cross product dr bar by dt. Okay. So here we get R bar cross dp bar by dt. What is dp bar by dt? That will be a force. Right. Rate of change of a momentum is nothing but a force. Okay. That means as you are going to increase a momentum, momentum कब increase होता है जब आप force apply. Plus P bar cross. What is dr bar by dt? That is rate of change of a position vector is nothing but your velocity. Okay. So here we get R bar cross F bar. Okay. But what is the value of T? We have M into V cross V. I hope you are knowing what is V cross V. V cross V काय असणार आहे? Cross product of a vector with itself.
Unit.
Huh?
One it is.
Cross product of vector with itself. One. I
Yes.
think about a dot product.
It is 0. Sorry. In dot product it is 1. In cross product
Why it
it
is
is
0? Because we are saying A cross B, the mod of A cross B is nothing but area of a parallelogram. So if you are finding the area of a line, right? We have A cross B, mod of A cross B is nothing but the area of a parallelogram. Area कब find out कर सकते हो जब आपके पास two vector है, right? This is A and B. So resultant you can complete a parallelogram. After completing a parallelogram, you can find out the area of parallelogram. But आपके पास V cross V, that is A cross A है. सिर्फ एक ही लाइन है तो उसका एरिया कैसे फाइंड आउट करेंगे? सो एक्चुअली विल बी एरिया इज 0, hence we can say V cross V is a 0. What I get the result is torque is equal to R bar cross F bar. Right? Have you understood this one? What is A cross B? This is area of parallelogram. अगर आपके पास दूसरा वेक्टर ही नहीं है, suppose you are finding A cross A, what will be area of a single line? Line का तो area नहीं find out.
0.
So that's why V cross V is a 0. The cross product. Okay. Let me go to the first one, conservation principle. That is principle of conservation of a linear momentum. Principle of conservation of a linear momentum. What is the principle of conservation of a linear momentum? P bar dot is equals to F bar. That is rate of change of a linear momentum is nothing but the force applied. If you apply a force, then only there will be change in the momentum. Okay. If I am saying that force is 0, right? Suppose we have this bottle, right? अगर मैंने इसको यहाँ पे रखा, अगर मैंने कुछ फोर्स ही अप्लाई नहीं किया, तो is there any change?
No.
No.
If I apply a force, there will be a change. Correct. So if I am not applying a force, that means F bar is 0, means what? dP by dt is equals to 0. That is P bar dot is 0. That means derivative of any term is 0, means what? That term P is a constant. Correct, na?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So what is the derivative of constant term? It is 0. Right? If derivative of term is 0, then that term we are saying it is constant. Or in another way, dP by dt equal to 0 means if you are going to integrate with respect to t, you will get P is equal to constant. That is, momentum is constant. Okay. In the very similar way, we have another one, that is, if torque is 0, N bar is 0, it means that dL by dt is equal to 0. Okay. Which means that what is dL by dt? E 0 means L is constant. Okay. So in the absence of torque, अगर torque 0 है, और if in the absence of torque, angular momentum is constant, and in the absence of force, linear momentum is constant. Okay, these are what a conservation principle. Conservation in the sense constant. Okay, अगर torque नहीं है तो angular momentum constant होगा, अगर force नहीं है तो linear momentum constant होगा. Correct? Is there any doubt in the today's lecture? Let me share the screen, whatever we have taken within 5 minutes, because after 5 minutes we'll have second lecture also. While attending a lecture, I request all of you to mute yourself. Is the screen visible to everyone?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Whatever we have studied just now, that I am sharing you. We have the position vector. Okay, definition of
Ma'am,
a
the screen is
position.
not visible to me.
It will be visible. Maybe due to a fluctuation of internet, it is somewhere. दिसतंय का सगळ्यांना?
Yes, ma'am.
No, ma'am.
Yes.
No, ma'am. I
नहीं
can't
नहीं
see the.
एक्चुअली आपको क्या करना है, आप अगर मोबाइल पे अटेंड कर रहे हो ना, तो जहाँ पे मेरा नाम दिख रहा है वहां पे दो नाम दिख रहे हैं. आप अगर मोबाइल पे यूज कर रहे हो तो 17 अदर 25 अदर जहाँ पे है नाम वहां पे क्लिक करो. वहां पे मेरे दो नाम दिखेंगे उजमा मुछाले. सो जहाँ पे मैंने प्रेजेंटेशन लिखा है वहां पे क्लिक करोगे तो आपको प्रेजेंटेशन दिखेगा.
Now it is visible, ma'am.
Okay. So the vector which gives a position at any point from some fixed point is called a position vector. That we have written here. This is what a definition of velocity. The rate of change of a time rate of change of a position vector is nothing but the velocity. That differentiate every term and you will get the velocity. Okay. Next is a definition of acceleration. That is rate of change of a velocity is nothing but acceleration. Next is a momentum, that is mass into velocity. Okay, next is what a force, that is force is written is dp by dt. No doubt this notes I am going to share it on the Google Classroom so that you can be, it will be easy for you to do a study. Angular momentum is nothing but r cross p. What is r? Position vector cross product with T, that is a linear momentum. What is torque? It is a rate of change of a angular momentum. Okay. So these things we have seen, and the next one that we have seen just now, in the absence of force, P is constant. Okay. In the absence of force, P is constant. That is dp by dt 0. Integration करने के P constant मिलेगा. So in the absence of torque, n bar is 0, that is dl by dt equal to 0, which means that angular momentum is constant. Okay. Okay, let us end the meeting because you will have the next lecture at 12. कुणाचा lecture आहे?
नंबर कोई सर.
आपके दूसरे फ्रेंड्स को भी बताओ कि लेक्चर स्टार्ट हो गए हैं, क्योंकि ओनली 35 स्टूडेंट्स आर देयर who are attending the lectures. And make your own email ID so that you can have the registration through email ID. Okay. Thank you and attend the next lecture.